What's up, everybody, and welcome back to World's Your Oysta. Today, I am so excited to introduce you to our guest, Aliett Buttelmann. She is the founder, well, one of the founders, of the viral brand Fazit. She's turned the beauty world upside down with her innovative products, her fearless vision, and a very, very significant Taylor Swift moment that truly changed her life and her business. So let's welcome Aliett to the podcast. Aliett, welcome to World's Your Oysta.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited because I have been learning so much about your brand and the story over the last couple of days. And I'm just like, damn, like, wow, you really took an actual product out of thin air. What you do did not exist before, as far as, you know, to what I know. And you turned it into a thing, and you obviously had a real viral moment, which we'll get into, that kind of like catapulted your business. But I just have to say, like, hats off to you for like literally creating something out of thin air and making it happen.
Thank you.
But before we start, I'll do a little game.
Oh,
We're going to do a little warm up. A little warm up. It's called Shuck It or Chuck It. So basically, obviously play on oysters, right? So if we like it, we're shucking it.
Okay.
If we hate it, we're chucking it.
Love it.
Okay. First one, TikTok beauty trends.
Ooh, shuck it.
Shucking it. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's where I learn everything.
yeah, that's like your whole bread and butter for the business.
100%.
No? Yeah. I'm chucking it. I hate TikTok. It's really like taking too much of my time.
I mean, I had a mental breakdown when it went dark for 12 hours.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I was like, am I supposed to read now? Like, what happens before bed?
Am I supposed to read? I was in Japan when it happened and I didn't have it on my phone. And because I delete TikTok. I go on and off with all of my apps, by the way. But yeah, with TikTok, I had it off my phone. I was in Japan, got banned, went to go like see if I could put it back on my, I just recently got TikTok back on my phone when they like put it back.
And are you abusing it?
So I put it, like I said, I put it on and off. Like last night I had it on, obviously, because I wanted to see what you were doing on TikTok. So I scrolled for like 3 hours, though. That's the problem with
It's
the
a dark
TikTok.
hole, but I'm like, I do this for work, right? This is work time. I'm educating myself.
Yeah, I try not to think of it that way, because then I would be on all day. Celebrity endorsements, shuck it or chuck it?
Chuck it.
Chuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like if it's organic, like our situation, it can really, I don't know, turn the needle of the business. But I think if a celebrity is partnering with a company, I don't know, it feels inauthentic these days.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, that's because we know like the dollars and cents behind it a lot of times now. Like, unfortunately, we like the veil has been pulled off of every industry, and like we all know what everyone would be making, which is kind of crazy. Shuck it or chuck it, releasing limited edition collections for exclusivity.
Ooh, shuck it. Obviously, we do limited edition drops probably like 5 times a month.
I can't wait to talk about your branding, by the way. Obsessed.
Thank you.
Shuck it or chuck it, the no rules approach to branding and marketing.
Oh, I would say shuck it. I think that's how you become a disrupting brand, and you're doing something that nobody else is doing.
Shuck it or chuck it, clean girl aesthetic.
What's the middle between shuck it and chuck it? I feel like this year we need to start making more bold statements with our makeup. I'm a little over the clean girl aesthetic. I love clean makeup, love clean beauty, but I think I don't know, everyone's starting to look the same these days.
You said it, not me. Shuck it or chuck it, influencers.
Ooh, I say shuck it. You know, I think they're the tastemakers, the thought leaders. I think they're onto something.
I agree. Shuck it or chuck it, using the Paris or beauty filter.
I mean, this week, are you kidding me? I was breaking out and I'm so stressed out. Every single video I posted on TikTok this week had a filter. So we're keeping the filter for now.
I know. Unfortunately, it's going to be a shuck it for me too. I've been trying though. I really have been trying.
I called out though in the video. I'm like, just want to let you know, like it's rough morning. I'm going to keep the filter on.
It's rough morning. Listen, and the acne, I've been having crazy acne too. So I get it. But I saw you make patches and whatnot for acne.
We started the brand with acne patches. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to get into that. Last one, shuck it or chuck it, sunglasses inside.
Oh, I don't judge. I'll shuck it. You know,
I'm a shuck it too.
You know what? It's Saturday, you're hungover. Need a little eye care.
One time I wore sunglasses at night at an event and McKenna made me take them off.
I think it's actually kind of chic for an evening look. Like at a gala, I think that's like a move that nobody is making. Glasses inside.
I love it. I personally loved it, but I offended the person that I was with and they said take them off immediately. Well, thank you for participating in Shuck It or Chuck It. I love all your answers. And let's get into the story because it's a very interesting one. But before we jump into the story, I do want for you to just introduce the brand so that everybody understands exactly what you're doing at Fazit.
Yeah, Fazit Beauty is revolutionizing the way we're applying both skincare and cosmetics. We use patch technology in order to make now cosmetics easier than ever. You don't have to be a makeup artist or have any type of makeup artist skill set to have beautiful statement designs on your face.
So are we talking like a full, like, can you put a patch on and do eyeshadow or like?
Coming soon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes, but we first started with the glitter freckles and the faux freckle look. It was inspired by festival wear of instead of putting gems and gluing on your face or taking one of those freckle pens and putting dots all over your face. I was smudging my makeup doing that. We saw the broccoli trend where people are spraying self-tanner on it, dabbing it across the face. We're like, there has to be an easier way to do this.
Yeah. Crazy, by the way. So I have to tell you, before we jump into your story, I was having one of my many moments where I was about like breaking down on the street and like wondering, why am I doing all of this? I'm doing so much. As I told you, I have a full-time job. I'm doing the podcast on the side and, you know, existential crisis as we all have as
I had one before I came here.
Founders. Exactly. Right. And I'm walking to work and I'm just like, I'm about to end it all. And all of a sudden, this gigantic truck comes zooming down the street, big 18-wheeler truck. It was raining, so splashes water all over me. I look up and it's a Fazit Beauty 18-wheeler truck.
And you're like, I'm canceling this interview right now.
No, I was just like, no, this is incredible. I'm like, when are you on the street having an existential crisis about the product that you're putting out there into the world? And then all of a sudden you get like a literal sign from God that like, hello, here's a huge commercial product that you are interviewing the founder in a few weeks. Like, keep going, girl. It literally was like the sign from the universe that was like, just keep going. Like you are interviewing the founder of this company that just splashed the shit out of you, by the way, with nasty ass water. But like, it was just the craziest thing. And and that was also what I noticed. I was like, wait, hold on. This is like a major company. I just thought it was like a small beauty brand. I'm like, they've got 18-wheeler trucks. Like, this is crazy. There must be like offloading product at like, I don't know. CVS. That must have been like a CVS or Dwayne Reed. Are you in Dwayne Reed or just
CVS?
Okay. Okay. Crazy.
Well, I love that you shared that. I feel like, honestly, when I come on these podcasts, it's a time for me to reflect of like, oh, wow, like we are doing a lot. And, you know, maybe last year or 5 years ago didn't look like this. And to be able to like reflect on the journey and have conversations with people like you, it gets me moving forward and through, you know, the tougher times of the job.
Yeah, no, for sure. You guys are doing a lot. And I know how much you're working behind the scenes as well. A very small company, your co-founder, and a small team, which is crazy to think because you're in stores with many, many, many doors. You're selling through online. We'll talk about the viral moment as well. But before we get into that, let's just talk a little bit about the relationship that you have with your co-founder. You guys started a brand or were working on a brand prior to Fazit, right?
Yeah. So I was at Columbia University in the city. She was at NYU. And when we both graduated, a mutual friend said, "You're the only two entrepreneurs I know." I was starting a consulting company. She was making potions in her dorm room at NYU of clean beauty products. And we met up and connected instantly. It was working for her for free. I was like, I'm obsessed with these products you're making. I just see big things for the brand. We rebrand her company, Labruna Skincare. I was a partner in her initial company. And we rolled out into Nordstrom's. We sold out in 24 hours. They called us the sleeper beauty brand. They had all these larger companies coming in. And I think we were their #1 bestseller of that clean beauty program that they launched in Nordstrom. And from there, our business relationship took off.
So when do you decide to start Fazit? Did you put what was it called?
Labruna Skincare.
Labruna Skin. Did you put that one to rest? Are you guys still making those products?
Yeah. So I still had my consulting company into COVID. We were working on Labruna Skincare, but we realized it was a very expensive company to run. We were sourcing rare ingredients. We were self-funding it. It was ultra feminine. During COVID, there was a saturation of clean beauty brands coming to the market. And we're like, we really want to do something a little bit more mass market that has the potential to scale quicker. And Nina actually pitched me. She's like, I've been looking into this thing called hydrocolloid patches and dermal patches, and there's not a lot of innovation happening in that market. Would you be interested in starting a company? And my job as a consultant was working for all of these founders of tech companies, beauty brands, fashion brands. And I was like, I cannot do what they do. Like, I cannot have that much skin in the game because I just see the stress, overbuying inventory. I just was seeing all of these companies failing and trying to grow at the same time. So it's like, Nina, I don't think this is for me. She's like, come on, it's COVID. We have nothing better to do. Like, let's just start working on this. And I was like, okay, fine. So we made a name for the company. We launched our first product. We put $13,000 together to put into inventory, branding, website. Our website looked like it was from the year 2000. It was a scary start, but we quickly had traction, and it just gave us the faith to move forward.
And the first product was a patch, an acne patch, or?
They were the first ever extra large multi-shape acne patches. So at the time, they were the small pimple dots, and we wanted to help the cystic acne community be able to have the same results the small pimple patches did, but on a larger scale.
So then how do you go from creating acne patches to then sparkle freckles, which is what the company is now known for?
You know, we realized that the skincare patches, so it wasn't just acne patches. We had ingrown hair patches, silicone scar patches for cystic acne scars. And we loved seeing the before and after results of these patch peels. People were sharing these very graphic videos on social media that would go viral, and people loved how interactive their application of their skincare was. So we're like, all right, maybe we can do this for cosmetics. And Nina started playing around with samples, and she pitched it to me again saying, what do you think about these freckle patches? I've been wearing them around LA. People stop me on the street and are like, what is on your face? And I go to my advisor and I was like, I don't know about this. Like, how are we going from skincare, acne care into sparkle freckles? And she's like, trust me, like, I can just feel it.
Your co-founder said,
my co-founder, Nina.
Do you get so scared every time she comes to you now when she's like,
no.
What do you think about?
I embrace it. Every time she shows me something and I'm like, I hate that. I was like, I hate it. It means it will totally do well.
That's interesting. So she's the visionary.
she's our product developer, and she innovates like no other. But we launched we had it in production, the freckle patches. It was gold, silver, and a faux freckle look. And our goal was to launch for Coachella. We missed weekend one. Product was delayed. Sent a few production samples to influencer friends that were going. They posted content. It goes viral. We sell out the first week 100,000 units before it even gets into our warehouse. And that was the start of the viral glitter freckle.
This is why you just have to rip the Band-Aid off.
Always. My advice to everyone is just do it.
Just do it. Need to take the... No, it's crazy. It really is crazy. So walk me through the day, though, when you found out your product wasn't going to arrive for weekend one of Coachella, when that was like your whole rollout strategy.
I mean, this is the name of the game. You think you have everything under control, and with manufacture, there's always delays in what you're doing, and you're constantly just pivoting, figuring out, okay, like, can't get down on ourselves. There's nothing in our control we can possibly do. And Nina always, she gets so annoyed with me because I'm like, okay, like, how do we get the boat moving any faster? Like, can we get this on a plane now to get here? And she's like, there's nothing we can do. So you just have to pivot your strategy and see how you can make something out of nothing work.
Yeah. Well, thank God you had the samples.
Yeah.
And what influencers were wearing them that weekend?
They were just friends of ours. They have a few thousand followers. One was friends with Jake Shane. She's a picture with him. They all posted, and I think the videos went viral because people had never seen a product like this before.
Right. And
how you put it on and take it off is just so interactive in short form content.
Yeah. Very interesting. So what year was that?
That was last year. That was last year. Last April.
And then there's the Taylor Swift of it all. So tell me about the Taylor Swift viral moment and how it changed everything for you guys.
Yeah. So May of 2024, when our products were released, Taylor was on the Eras tour in Europe. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's the perfect person to be wearing this product. She's in her bedazzled outfits. Like, we should get it on her somehow. And my background being in fashion, I know it's impossible to get in touch with people's publicists, their management teams for celebrities. Just like, do you know who loves free product? It's makeup artists. And I, Google search who's Taylor Swift's makeup artist, found she works with one. Her name is Lori Turk. She's based in Nashville. Contacted her agency and they gave me her address. So back in May, I sent Lori Turk makeup patches for hopefully Taylor Swift. Months go by. We had a few viral moments throughout the summer. We launched nationwide at Urban Outfitters. And then on October 7th, coming home from hot yoga, my husband has the Monday Night Football game on, and I'm on my phone and a content creator DMs the Fazit Beauty account, says, I think Taylor is wearing your product at the game right now. And I blacked out. I was like, there was a strategy set up for Taylor to receive the products. We sent to Sabrina Carpenter's team. We sent to the WAGs, the Wives and Girlfriends of the Chiefs. So Taylor could be surrounded by Fazit everywhere she was at. I don't know how she ended up seeing it, wearing it. It got into her hands. But she walks into Arrowhead Stadium in her beautiful Vivienne Westwood outfit, rocking the gold Stardust speckles. And I start bawling. I see Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, Page Six, Chicks in the Office, Perez Hilton. They all have a zoomed in picture of the glitter freckles on Instagram. And they were like, Taylor's wearing glitter freckles. What is this? So I start crying. My husband is recording me. I don't know why. He thought it was like a great chance to like have me disheveled, bawling my eyes out. I take that video. I decide to post it. I was like, he said, why would you post this? Is not the lighting. You're red. You're crying. You're sobbing. Like, this is not a flattering video of you. You're like crying on the internet. And I was like, whatever. But
this is what the internet loves, by the way.
I knew in that moment I was crying because I knew everything had changed for the business, and I knew the type of platform and the global attention this was about to receive. And I called up my co-founder. She's not answering. I was like texting her. I was like, Nina, bitch, you gotta get to work. It's time to work. Called my brother-in-law.
She's like, get more shit on the plane.
Yes. Get the product here. I called my brother-in-law. He comes over. He's a marketing genius. And it's just all hands on deck. I mean, my husband is so removed from social media. He's making Reddit and Twitter accounts and trying to tell all these journalists that it's Fazit Beauty. Yeah. And we spent that first probably 10 hours letting journalists know it's our product. So it's tagged properly.
Right. Because that's the other nightmare. Like, how do you then, like, okay, great, she's wearing sparkle freckles, but like, how do you then let the world know that it's your product? Yes. So you had to hustle your ass off to get that information to every outlet.
Yeah. And for us, it's like, we've been entrepreneurs and founders for a long time now. And when these types of moments happen, you capitalize on them and you do everything you can to keep the momentum alive and not let this moment die. Like, the media cycle is so quick, right? Everyone's going to forget about this tomorrow.
Totally.
So we just had to keep the conversation going. And the next morning, it was CBS News somehow got my phone numbers calling me to get into their studio. NBC Peacock is shooting a documentary called The Swift Effect. They're like, can we come into your apartment and set up a set? So they set up a set the next day. They filmed me for this documentary. I mean, the next 3 weeks, I didn't sleep. It was a wild roller coaster. And the Eras tour was beginning in North America.
Yeah. Your sales skyrocketed by 3,500% in 48 hours due to Taylor Swift.
We did 7 figures in 48 hours. Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the Taylor Swift effect.
That's Taylor Swift effect. And it stayed alive. We had Lisa, the K-pop star from Blackpink, who's now in the White Lotus. Yes. She wore it a few weeks afterwards. Rita Ora's team reached out requesting product. Casey Musgraves just wore it. So there's been a trickle effect. The press doesn't stop. The Eras tour commenced again in North America. So we were going to each one of her tour locations, doing pop-ups. It's been wild. We had...
What, were you just setting up in the parking lot, or?
No, it was a little bit more sophisticated than that, but I love scrappy marketing.
Well, I'm just thinking, I'm like, did she like sign off on that, or like, what were you doing?
No, so we were at Urban Outfitters, was the only retail partner that we had at that time. So luckily they had locations in New Orleans, Indianapolis, and Miami. So we were doing pop-ups there. We were selling a few thousand units a day just at an Urban Outfitters for people getting their products last minute. It was wild.
It's the perfect item for the Eras tour.
The perfect. And then there was Halloween right after. So it was like, Taylor could not have set up a more perfect moment for Phase of Beauty.
What would you do if you got to meet her?
We wrote her a letter and her makeup artist a letter. And it was really thanking her for when she decides to wear brands. She's really intentional about who she wears. And it's not the first time she's worn a female-founded small business before. We were onto something and we were hitting milestones before the Taylor Swift thing happened. But the leverage she gave us in negotiations and opening the doors for conversations that those doors were closed on us previously, I thank her for that.
Yeah. So I've heard a part of your journey is you got told no 9 billion times when you were trying to raise money.
Yeah.
So can you walk us through that process? Because you essentially you were trying to raise money for the brand. So were you going to venture capital firms and they didn't believe in the product?
So when Nina and I started, we said, we're doing this if we can be VC backed and we can scale this super fast. We can pay ourselves salaries. Like we can have the proper resources to launch this brand. I think the stat is you have to have $1 million raised in order to launch a successful beauty brand. We did it with $13,000. I probably took 100 meetings and you walk into every one of these meetings and it's chicken before the egg. You have to have traction. You have to have sales. You have to have a great idea. And I don't know, we were in a time where all of these amazing female founders were raising VC before even having a product in hand. So we thought we could do that as well. Everyone told us no. It was, I'm not your target demographic. These are also a group of middle-aged men.
Yeah.
Let me ask my wife. We don't get it. It was just like, well, isn't it good that you don't get it? Right? Like
you're not supposed to.
Also, like we're innovating in a space that hasn't been innovated in before. We applied to an accelerator program instead and figured that was the way to get a little bit of money to, have more traction, launch more products, invest back into the company with branding and marketing.
For those that don't know, what is an accelerator program?
It's a program that you apply into that essentially gets you VC ready. You spend probably about 8 weeks learning finances, profit and loss statements, really just creating structure to your company. And they'll also write you a small check. So in this case, they wrote us $50,000 check.
Okay.
It was a lot of money for us at the time.
Especially starting at the 13,
100%. And then from there, we ended up doing a friends and family round. And I think in total, we've raised under $200,000, which in our world is not a lot of money.
And you did 7 figures in 48 hours on $200,000. Yeah,
I think from 2023 to 2024, I think we grew 4,000%.
It's unbelievable. I mean, those are numbers that you don't even hear of.
No.
So now, initially, you're obviously selling direct to consumer through your website. When do you start to bring on retail partners?
So we were first D2C, but also Amazon, because for us, it was very important to be accessible product to our customers. If it was skincare patches or cosmetic patches, our customer either wants to solve a skin issue immediately, or this is an impulse buy for them. They want to complete their outfit for an occasion they're going to with our makeup patches. So being on Amazon, having that prime shipping was super important for us. And then our retail strategy moving forward was how do we get into the most stores as possible? So it was first Urban Outfitters because it has that Gen Z customer base that makes sense for us.
Yeah.
And they've been an incredible partner. And then over the summer before Taylor Swift happened, CVS reached out. So we went into 400 CVS stores in November. And on Monday of this week, we're going into 1,000 Targets.
Insane. And I know we didn't talk about this and it's not really that important, but how old are you?
I just turned 29.
I mean...
But I've been at this for a long time.
But it's not that long. I mean, you're 29. Even if you started when you were 19, that's 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is nothing.
Takes time though. There's a lot of grit and a stomach for it and to keep going. I mean, I felt like I had no plan B, and neither did Nina, that it was you can't lose faith and you can't fail because there is nothing else to fall back on. This was the only plan we had.
And I've been saying it too. I always equated this back to when I was a dancer. I was a competitive dancer and my parents owned the dance school and I had a nice, beautiful, cushy life, right? And then when I left the dance school and moved to New York City, I still had a nice, beautiful, cushy life because my parents, they were never going to allow me to fail.
Yeah.
Right. So I would go take dance classes at Broadway Dance Center and steps and whatever. And I was always good.
Mm-hmm.
I was great. But there was the kids that had nothing. They had nothing. They had nothing. They had to be the best in the class because they had to stand out, because they had to book the job. Because if they did not book the job, they would not be able to pay their rent. And those were the ones that became exceptional.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have that grit because I had something to fall back on.
Yeah.
I had my dance schools. I had my parents' support. But you weren't operating from that mentality, because just heard you say it. You said, I had no other option. We had no other option. Whereas I always knew, okay, if this doesn't work out, I'll go teach at the dance schools. Like, I was very lackadaisical about it. And so I always tell people, like, and I even need to tell myself this, is like, you just have to throw yourself into the deep end, because you're not going to allow yourself to drown.
Yeah. You have to be okay being so uncomfortable all the time.
Oh, that is, yes, I'm so uncomfortable all the time.
Oh God, me too.
Ever since I started this, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm sweating right now. Like, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm uneasy all the time, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Like, for the moments that it all makes sense. And for me, it's like this energy exchange, right? It like makes it all worth it. But like the 20 minutes before I'm getting here, I'm like, why am I still in this? Like, I'm 37 years old. Like, why am I still making myself nervous at least once a week to go talk to people? You know, like, because like, but I
You're
always
also
was
a wonderful interviewer.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But it's like, but I grew up that way. Like, I was always nervous to go to dance competition. Like, I thrive in that kind of.
When's your birthday?
October. I'm a Libra. Is that a Libra
My husband?
thing?
No, but I'm Aquarius and I feel the same way.
Yeah, like what? But if I didn't have that, like, where's the excitement in your life? Like, where's the rush of it all? You know?
Yeah, and that's why you're, trying to do something yourself, right? Is because it's if you crave that feeling. I mean, I feel like I'm addicted to it. My husband always asks me, he's like, when this is over, like if you sell the company or when you do, what's next? And I was like, I'm a sicko. I'll do it again. I'll keep doing it. It's something inside you. You can't stop.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know if I would do it again. I think if I could build something and sell it, I don't know if I would do it again. Well, it depends on how much the sale was for, honestly.
We'll see. We'll see how life plays out.
Listen, you guys are onto something. I mean, I haven't really quite heard numbers like this. Even I've interviewed so many female founders that are, some of them twice your age that don't have quite such enormous initial success, right? But I know that there are hard days. So if you can kind of just like run us through some of the, like, what is a hard day like for you? Like, what are the chinks in the chain that can really like mess things up for you?
Post Taylor was really hard time. It was trying to keep up with all the opportunities, and it was all positive things.
Right.
But it was
logistics.
A lot more people are looking at us now, right? You cannot make a mistake because all these eyes are on you. I felt like we had a limited amount of time to show up and to take advantage of this moment. And we did. And then this past week I'm launching at Target on Monday, and I'm launching probably the most massive beauty collaboration that there has ever been. And it's been
for you guys, or just ever?
I think ever, to be honest.
What? Okay, yeah. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but like, I'm like, ever? You think this is going to be the largest collaboration beauty?
It's with the biggest beauty company in the world, and they're a publicly traded company. Really, it's still Nina and I and a small team. And pulling this off, our full-time employee, she was our first full-time hire. She gets on the phone Friday crying, and I was like, this is the hard day, because I'm trying to, show up for myself, but I'm also trying to show up for my team. And that's been one of the hardest lessons of learning this past year is, how can I be a good leader, right? It's not about Nina and I anymore, right? We have it in ourselves to keep pushing forward. How do I inspire my team to want this as much as I want it, and to feel they're valued and they're doing a great job? And that's really hard. So I sent her a gift card to go get a facial because the girl needed it.
Amen. And that's a beautiful thing.
But it's all at once. And then it's not, I think being a woman, it's also not just work, right? It's your personal life. It's keeping up with your house, keeping up with your relationship, your female relationships, your partner, your romantic.
Planning a wedding. I'm planning on TikTok. You're planning a wedding.
It's a lot. It's a lot all at once. Like, in full honesty, I've never really had panic attacks before. I swear I had a panic attack before I got here of just...
Today?
Yeah. I was eating dim sum next door with my husband. I made him come down here with me. And I was just like, there's just so much on my plate right now that I don't know how we're going to pull it all off in such a short amount of time.
Why the fuck did I agree to doing this podcast today? Literally.
He's like stroking me. He's like, eat that dumpling. It is all going to be okay. And I'll pick you up from work.
I am dead. Well, you could have just texted me and told me you but I'm glad you did it, right? You pushed through.
Right,
and
that's being uncomfortable, right? You're just like, one, like I will always be professional and I'm never going to cancel something that I agreed to. And I was so excited to talk to you as well.
Yeah.
So you know what? You keep pushing through, and like you do have to keep reminding yourself that like you work so hard at it, you give it all you can, and whatever it is, it is.
Do you ever like allow yourself to just enjoy and just be proud of what you've built? Or are you right now in that phase of just constant hamster wheel?
I think the one moment I did allow myself to was I went to the Indianapolis Eras tour, and I don't know, we grew up with Taylor Swift. She takes you through your heartbreaks and those key times in life. And I brought my husband with me to the concert 'cause it was a work trip as well. And we pay for tickets 2 hours before the concert. So she's like, oh, these are so crazy. Like, can't believe I'm spending all this money. And I didn't realize what I booked. But we get there and I accidentally got first row tickets in the first row.
Well, no wonder they were so expensive.
But I was just like, I sat there and I was like, one, I paid for these myself, right?
Yeah.
Two, I look around. It's an 80,000 person stadium. And 1 in 3 girls are wearing my product around me.
Oh, I
start crying.
I'm about to cry.
I know, me too. And I mean, not to be like sappy, but I was like, I don't know, I was with my fiance, my husband now. I don't know, we're like singing these love songs, you know, at the concert. And I was like, wow, life. This is pretty cool.
I could not imagine like what that moment must have.
Yeah.
And that, you should always remember that. You're so lucky to have had like a real moment like that.
Yeah. But then it's also these conversations that I've been having now that it allows me to reflect. It feels a little bit like therapy, which is kind of nice. Of, you know, just like thinking about things that I don't allow myself to think about of, wow, like it is crazy. Like this is all so crazy and we work so hard. And for me, it felt like a long period of time that I've been like sacrificing a lot in my life to get here.
It's been like 2 years, babe.
I've been an entrepreneur though since like college.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, even before college, I started modeling when I was 15. So I've been working for a very long time, and it's nice when it starts feeling like it's coming together.
Yeah. Well, I'm manifesting for you a big Taylor Swift meetup in 2025. I mean, it has to happen.
I hope so. I also have a crush on Travis.
Oh, we could tell you a little story about them. They were just in the house at Casa Cipriani together last week.
I love it. My husband's like, that's your type.
Yeah, he's cute. Well, you never marry your type because I'm like, I don't. No, you don't marry your type. He's hot. Like Travis. Yeah,
you know what it is? It's I love charisma. I'm like such a sucker for a big personality.
I hear you. I hear that. No, for sure. And he's definitely got like.
It's definitely supporting his woman too, which is super hot.
We love that. We absolutely love that. I want to talk a little bit about the branding because I think it's so genius and so chic and like has that kind of like, what is it, like 1960s pinup sort of. It's a like
mix, yeah.
It's reminiscent of that ad that Kim Kardashian did for Skims.
I love that you're referencing that. It's on my mood board.
Yeah, but I love it. Like I think that that's so chic and it's just like a way to take a product almost that is, listen, I'll call it what it is. Like it's for tweens, right? Like the freckles.
You'd be so surprised. I thought so too. My customer's 35 through 44.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
It's weird.
But that's what I'm saying. But the marketing I thought was genius because I'm like, oh, I want to buy this because like I like this marketing. It's very sexy. And like I want to wear these glitter freckles. And I'm not like a glitter freckle girly.
Yeah. One, I wanted to humanize the brand. I feel like a lot of beauty brands were starting to look the same. And our product is very personal. And we want to exude confidence boosting results and self-expression with all of our products. We're like, let's put a model on the packaging, right? I haven't seen that. And being in the fashion world, I lived at those old school magazine shops in New York City. I just would spend so much time in there going to buy myself in a magazine or just they were works of arts, these old magazines. So we wanted our products to resemble old school magazines. And now that they're all coming together and there's a ton more products than just 3 that we launched with. It looks like a magazine shop online.
It looks beautiful. Your website is stunning.
Thank you.
I really like the website.
We have an amazing creative director. He did Vacation Sun Care's branding as well.
Cool. I love their branding.
I do too.
I see now. I get the vibe.
Yeah.
I get the vibe. So let's talk a little bit about social media, because I think that so much of your brand is built around it. And I'm sure you spend a lot of time and efforts there. So how do you approach content creation and engagement with your community?
I think it's different on each platform. On TikTok, it was about, at first, graphic, shocking content, quick speed. Probably until a few months ago, I edited all the videos, and there was just a speed of editing that I knew our customer would gravitate towards those videos. And in the early days, we had over 300 million views on viral content. And we keep using that approach with TikTok. I think it's also keeping things different, bringing humor, bringing lightness to beauty, not taking it so seriously. That's what we're all about at Fazit. And making it personal, having founder-led content, being vulnerable in the type of content we're posting, talking through the journey, the highlights, the lowlights. I've been in tears in a few videos. Instagram in the last year has been so hard to create engagement and community there that is organically happening on TikTok. So our social media strategist, she's been incredible at really changing the game of Instagram. We have so much engagement compared to other brands, and really creating different types of graphics that get conversations started. We've been going into gamification of Instagram posts where people can vote on things, and it's not betting, but it's people. We did a post about will Taylor Swift be at the game, and it gets people, chatting in the comments.
Yeah.
So that's been our strategy there. It's always changing.
Yeah. So if you could have a conversation with a young founder that's looking to build a buzzworthy brand, what would your advice be to them?
I have a lot of these conversations now because I was that founder looking for those mentors and felt like a lot of, people didn't have enough time to talk to a young founder. And I wish I would have created more of a community and network in the early days. So it's always my mission to lend myself to people who want some advice. One, people always ask, how do you start? And I said, you just start. That's it. Like, you just put the first foot forward. If you keep it up here, it's not going to actualize.
$13,000, which just seems unheard of for like the 2020s.
Just go into your savings, save up a little bit of money. And then it's try and stay in your lane and not look at what other people are doing. In the early days, it was looking around me a lot of, okay, like maybe get some marketing ideas from this brand doing well, but then you're not standing out and doing anything different. So I think figuring out how you can disrupt in a space. In fashion and beauty, it is always saturated. People are always going to tell you an industry is saturated, but there is room for everybody.
Yeah, no, it's true. It is 100% true. You talked a bit about leadership, right? But how are you taking care of yourself during all of these times? Like, do you have any type of regimens that you follow, any type of rituals that just allow you to tune out? Because I know you said you like to doom scroll and that you think of it as work on TikTok, but like the burnout could eventually become real.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I take a bath every day, which is wild. I know. That's
such a weird. Okay. What's your favorite bath bombs? Tell me more about your baths. I like this. Okay.
Listen.
She clearly can't turn off because she was like, no, I'm on TikTok. It's my job. I have to be on TikTok at 3 a.m. Like, now I have to.
Oh my God. I just had my bachelorette, and we had a little bit to drink one night, and we were all playing charades and whatever. And I told everybody I took a bath every night, and they're like, what?
That's so weird.
It's kind of wild. Let's do that. And you have that much time. I was like, listen, I live in New York City. Like,
Who even has a bathtub?
It's a really nice bathtub. It's like, also like, sometimes you just like need to get away from your partner for a little bit in the apartment. And that is my like 45 minutes to don't come in here, except she started getting interested in
bath time.
And I was like, no, not happening. But where were we going with this? Oh yeah. Sometimes I'll like bring soup into the bath and eat.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have like one of those? I'm envisioning a tray that like, and then
I
you
have
put
all the bath things. Yeah. This is like since a child. This has been, my mom was like, when you were little, I created sleep routines for you. So you went into the bath every night to like just get you to wind down. And that has always been my ritual. It's that. I can't say I really like have a regimented workout routine to release. My mom always calls me and is like, just have you gone to the gym today? You probably need to release a little bit. But I do now shut off at a certain time. Good. So around 6 p.m., depending on what projects we have going on, I do not disturb, shut my laptop. I'm not, taking any more calls. It's hard because Nina's on Pacific Coast time. So 6 is her 3. So she's still working.
Right.
And then I start to now not talk about work at home and with my partner. And he doesn't bring his laptop home. So it is just kind of, we use
sanctuary.
Yeah. We use the nights for ourselves. We cook. Yeah. We try and.
That's smart.
And I don't work on the weekends anymore. Except for, this is not work, but yeah.
Except for today.
But no, I think it's creating boundaries for yourself. And I told my employee who was crying on Friday, it's just like, you also need to do the same for yourself. You need to turn off at a certain point. You need to not work on the weekends, because there will be burnout and you will come to work the next day and you won't be excited about what we're doing. And I want to come to work every day being excited to keep building.
It's incredible advice, especially to give an employee, someone that's working for you and building your dreams, essentially. Mm-hmm. What's next? I know we have 2 very exciting big pieces of news that will come out over the next few days, which we're waiting on bated breath for. But what other things can we look for, whether it even just be on social media or what do we've got coming up?
Yeah, a few things. Our main focus point this year is being at the intersection between beauty and sports. So serving an underserved fan, which is a female fan, a female athlete. Our makeup is performance makeup. So being sure that this female fan or athlete can show up for her team and show team spirit, but she still feels pretty and confident and have makeup that won't budge. So that's very exciting. We're exploring different licensing deals, teaming up with different teams for game day in the fall of 2025.
Smart.
International expansion. So hopefully Australia and the UK is next for us. And then launching new categories. We've been playing around with fun eye designs that I'm loving. And hopefully we'll be launching those for festival season this year. We're popping up at Coachella and Stagecoach and Lollapalooza in the summer. And there's so much. It never stops.
I just had the best idea. I know either right now or soon they're going to start filming Euphoria again.
Heard, but their makeup artist is the makeup artist of Half Magic. So she does the beautiful gems that you stick on. So a little overlapping categories.
But I'm saying that type of makeup is going to come back again. Because remember, when Euphoria came out, everyone was doing the funky things. Oh, you know who you need to get your product to when you do the eye designs? That new housewife, Bronwyn. She does all these weird things with her makeup.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you need to get that. But we'll have a resurgence of that funky, futuristic type of makeup. So.
But even the eye patches, if you don't want to wear something across your face, which I get, I was playing around with the eye patches for New Year's and for Christmas Eve looks, and they're so pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not great at doing my own makeup. So this is just an easy way to feel pulled together and a cool, different type of look.
No, I'm excited for that. I need to try the products. I
was going to bring some here.
No, don't worry. You're having a big week. I think it's okay. Don't worry. You can mail them. So last thing, we talk a lot about manifestation on this podcast, and obviously so much of what you do, I'm sure, came from manifesting big. So we're calling it the Oysta list. So I want to know what is on your Oysta list and what are you manifesting for 2025? Could be you personally or for your brand, whatever you want. We're going to put it out there into the universe.
So I do this at the end of every year. I will sit down. I don't meditate, but have a minute of my thoughts. And then first thing that comes to my head, you jot it down. And instead of getting too much in your head of what you think you want, it's just allowing yourself to just first thing that comes to mind of let's put that on paper and maybe we can go back to it and see what that means. Did that last year. I read the list a few weeks ago and everything happened, which is crazy.
So you're a master manifester.
I guess. This is from the fake spiritual person. So this year, I want a Super Bowl ad.
Okay.
I want a direct line of Michael Rubin of Fanatics. We have goals of hitting $40 million in revenue this year. I want to expand retail footprint. I want to build out my team. God, what else?
I mean, I think that's
a
enough.
lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to do.
I'm exhausted.
Me too.
I am exhausted. I am so impressed by you and what you've built and what you've been able to accomplish. And, some of it does seem a little bit like lightning in a bottle, but I think it's really beautiful that you haven't treated it that way. And you really are like, okay, we have this incredible opportunity. We had this pop. How do we keep this for forever? And you're thinking really strategically.
Thank you.
You're incredibly smart.
Thank you.
Just like remember that on the days where you feel like you're like banging your head against the wall, like you are so capable of doing all of this and more. And even to just on a hard day to be able to sit and think about what you want to manifest can be really hard. And to do it with lights, camera, action, and like people and like a friend here, it's not easy to do. And you're doing it.
I appreciate it.
You jumped into the deep end. You're doing a lot of the things that most women like dream to do and don't have the courage and the guts to do. And that's what World's Your Oysta is all about. So thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. You're going to inspire so many people.
Thank you.
Where can everybody find you on the internet?
Oh yeah, Aliett Butts on my personal across Instagram and TikTok, and then
just spell it just so that people can find it.
Yeah, ALIETTBUTTS. It's been my screen name since the early days. And then Fazit Beauty across all channels.
And that's FAZIT.
Yep, beauty. And then fazitbeauty.com.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you again for coming on.
Thank
it's been such a pleasure. We're all looking forward to this big collaboration. When is the news coming?
Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern.
I mean, come on, 48 hours. So it'll be long out by the time you guys listen to this episode. I'm sure you've bought the product, whatever it is. And thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.